Okay, today we are going to study about what is the EMF equation in a motor, DC motor, and also what is back EMF and the significance of back EMF. Okay, so we know that in a DC motor which is working as uh, it its input is electrical energy and the output is mechanical energy. So to excite the magnets, if it is a DC motor or DC generator, we know that constructionally both the machines are same. So to excite our alternate south and north pole, we need an excitation current. So we give some excitation to the poles. When field magnets are excited, it will produce main flux lines. So when we give an input to the field windings, it will excite the magnetic poles and a main flux will be produced on this poles. And armature conductors are also supplied with the current from a DC supply. We know that, however, in a DC machine, when input is given as electrical energy, that is DC motor, so armature winding also supplied by a DC supply. So the current in armature conductor under north pole is downward direction, inward direction. So we are assuming under north pole the armature winding carrying current in inward direction. As the current carrying armature conductors are placed in magnetic field, what happens? When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, they experience a mechanical force which is in anti-clockwise direction. According to Fleming's left-hand rule, that force is in a anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So we know that when we give a field excitation, it will produce a anti-flux here, and in this armature winding, it's a coil. Armature winding is a coil. So when we give a current through this winding, whenever a current carrying conductor, it will also produce a flux. So these two flux will interact with each other and it produce or experience a force. And that force, direction of that force will be in anti-clockwise direction as per the Fleming's left-hand rule. Okay, these forces collectively produce driving torque. We know that there are numerous number of armature windings are there. So the force produced in each winding will collectively produce a torque in an anti-clockwise direction, and which sets an armature rotating in that direction. So all of the force will produce a torque in the armature and it will start the armature to rotate. To obtain a unidirectional torque, the current through the armature conductor must be reversed as it passes from one pole to another pole. So ഒരു unidirectional torque produce ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? Current through the armature conductor must be reversed as it passes from one pole to another pole. This is done by commutator. So ഒരു റിവേഴ്സൽ ഓഫ് കറണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാവണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കറിയാം കമ്മ്യൂട്ടേറ്റർ വേണം. സോ കമ്മ്യൂട്ടേറ്റർ സിഗ്നൽ വിൽ ബി ദർ ഇൻ എ DC machine, so it will produce unidirectional torque. Next, as the armature starts rotating, so we know that by experiencing that force, it starts rotating. Dynamically induced EMF is produced in the armature conductor. So whenever an armature conductor cuts the magnetic flux, നമ്മുടെ ആർമേച്ചർ റൊട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങി, പക്ഷെ there will be some fluxes in the main poles. മെയിൻ ഫ്ലക്സ് അവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു കണ്ടക്ടർ ഒരു ഫ്ലക്സിനെ കട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കറിയാം there will be an induced EMF. So this current carrying conductor cuts the magnetic flux, main flux, and it induces an EMF. So it's dynamically induced EMF because it's a moving coil. ആർമേച്ചർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇപ്പോൾ റൊട്ടേറ്റിംഗ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ റൊട്ടേറ്റിംഗ് കോയിൽ ഫ്ലക്സിനെ കട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് EMF we call it as dynamically induced EMF and is produced in the armature conductors. The direction of this induced EMF as found by Fleming's right hand rule. നമുക്കറിയാം in a generatorലും ഇതേ സംഭവം തന്നെയല്ലേ. There will be flux on the main poles and it will cut by the armature conductor, and EMF is induced in the armature conductor. The same EMF here also produced because both are the same machine. So this induced EMF is generated EMF, and the direction of that EMF is found by Fleming's right hand rule. Therefore it is known as back EMF or counter EMF. And why it is called as back EMF? Back EMF means the direction of this induced EMF, we can see that it will be always opposite to the supply voltage. നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഇൻപുട്ട് വോൾട്ടേജിന് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഡയറക്ഷനിലാണ് ബാക്ക് EMF പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുക. സോ വി കോൾ ഇറ്റ് ആസ് that induced EMF as back EMF or counter EMF. Its value is given by, we know that generated EMF in a DC machine, equation for generated EMF is pi Pn by 60 into Z by A. Phi is the flux per pole, P is the number of poles, N is the speed, Z is the number of conductors, and A is parallel path. So the applied voltage V has to force the current through armature conductors against this back EMF EB. So നമുക്കൊരു ഇൻപുട്ട് വോൾട്ടേജ് കൊടുത്ത് ഇതിലൂടെ ഒരു കറന്റ് ഫ്ലോ ആർമേച്ചറിലോട്ട് കൊടുക്കണമെങ്കിൽ it has to overcome this EB produced in this armature. So the applied voltage V has to force a current through armature, that is IA, against this back EMF. So this voltage, input voltage, have to do an electrical work to overcome this opposition, because we know that the direction of induced EMF is opposite to the direction of applied voltage. So to overcome this opposition, it has to do a work. Okay. So this electrical work done to overcome this opposition is converted into mechanical energy developed in armature. Okay. So ഈ back EMF overcome ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു electrical work done ആണ് mechanical energy ആയിട്ട് convert ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And what is the significance of this back EMF which is produced in armature? എന്ന് നോക്കാം. So the rotating armature, we know that when armature starts rotating, an EMF is induced in the armature winding by cutting the main flux. So the generating flux is known as back EMF, and which is equivalent to a battery of EMF EB. നമുക്ക് ഈ EB നെ എങ്ങനെ റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്യാം? അതായത് just as a cell battery, and which is directly opposite to the direction of input voltage connected across the supply mains of V. നമുക്കറിയാം പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന EB എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇൻപുട്ട് വോൾട്ടേജിന് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആണ്. സോ we consider this as a cell which is connected opposite to input voltage. So therefore we have to force this IA, നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഇൻപുട്ട് വോൾട്ടേജിന് ഈ ആർമേച്ചർ കറണ്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ it has to force against the opposition of EB. ഈ EBയേക്കാളും ഒരു ഹയർ വാല്യൂ ആണെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമല്ലേ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കറണ്ട് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് കൊടുത്താൽ മാത്രമേ ആർമേച്ചർ കറണ്ട് ഈ ഡയറക്ഷനിൽ ആർമേച്ചറിലോട്ട് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ. സോ ദ പവർ റിക്വയർഡ് ടു ഓവർകം ദിസ് ഒപ്പോസിഷൻ ഇസ് നോൺ ആസ് the electrical work done by that armature, that is EB into IA. So in case of a cell, if it is a cell, we are assuming it as a cell, this power is converted into chemical energy. If it is a battery, that work done is converted into chemical energy. But we know that here it is a motor. It is actually not a battery or cell. In this case, it is converted into mechanical energy. Okay, so the armature current IA is equal to net voltage across armature by resistance of armature. So just write the equation for armature current. What will be the equation for armature current? The total voltage in the armature. What will be the total voltage in this armature? Here the input voltage V and the induced voltage EB. So net voltage will be V minus EB. And the resistance of armature is RA. So V minus EB divided by RA is the armature current. And we know that back EMF equation is 5Pn by 60 into ZA volts. Thus, back EMF depends on, from this equation you know that back EMF depends on armature speed N. And if the speed is high, what happens? EB also become high. EB is large, and hence the armature current IA becomes small, because if value of EB increases, V minus EB decreases, so IA decreases. Okay. So when speed is high, what happens? EB become high and armature current become reduced. And if the speed is less, സ്പീഡ് കുറയുവാണെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? നമ്മൾ ലോഡ് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്തായാലും സ്പീഡ് കുറയുമല്ലോ. When the load increases, speed reduces. When speed reduces, back EMF also reduces, and hence the motor draws more current and more torque is developed. Thus makes EB, thus this back EMF makes the motor self-regulating. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം നമ്മൾ നോക്കാം. ഇപ്പം ലോഡ് കുറവാണെന്നായിരിക്കും. ലോഡ് കുറവായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്തായിരിക്കും? സ്പീഡ് ഹൈ ആയിരിക്കും. സ്പീഡ് ഹൈ ആയിരിക്കുമ്പം ബാക്ക് EMF എന്തായിരിക്കും? Back EMF കൂടും. So back EMF increases, it can reduce the armature current. So it regulates it. And if load increases, speed reduces. So back EMF also reduces. So the value of IA increases. So it regulates and it produces more current. So this back EMF makes the motor self-regulating according to the variation of load. So ഈ back EMF ആണ്, back EMFന്റെ presence കൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് ആ മോട്ടറിനെ റെഗുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് according to variable load condition. And now we just study about voltage equation of a motor. Let's draw a single line diagram of a DC motor, shunt motor. The shunt field winding is connected in parallel to armature. Okay, this is a motor. We know that in a motor, V is the input voltage. Input voltage is given to armature. The input voltage have to overcome two parts. What are the two things which has to overcome? It has to overcome the back EMF produced in the armature winding, and also it has to provide the armature drop, copper loss or armature drop, voltage drop in armature has to given because there is a presence of resistance, armature resistance. So the input voltage V has to overcome the back EMF EB and supply the armature ohmic drop IARA. So we can say V is equal to EB plus IARA. This is known as voltage equation of a motor. Now multiplying both sides by the above of this equation by IA, നമ്മൾ രണ്ട് ലെഫ്റ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് സൈഡും റൈറ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് സൈഡും IA ആർമേച്ചർ കറണ്ട് കൊണ്ട് മൾട്ടിപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാം. സോ ദിസ് ഇക്വേഷൻ ബിക്കം VIA is equal to EB into IA plus IA square RA. What is this? It's a power equation. VIA, what here VIA is the electrical power input to the armature. So V is the input voltage and IA is the armature input current. So V into IA is electrical power input to the armature. And what is EB into IA? That is electrical equivalent of mechanical power developed in armature. And IA into IA into RA, that is IA square RA is the, we know that I square R loss means it is a copper loss in armature. Hence, when the electrical power VIA, this is the input which is supplied to the armature, and some of the power is wasted as copper loss. IA square RA is wasted as a loss, and remaining power EBIA is converted into mechanical power, which is converted into mechanical power. Okay. So input is VIA and EBIA is the electrical power converted into mechanical energy, and there will be some copper losses IA square RA. Now we get the power equation. Here we got the power equation. Now we are going to find out the condition for maximum power. So we know that how we find out the condition for maximum efficiency. We just take the equation and differentiate it with respect to variable and equate it to 0. Here also, to get the condition for maximum power, the gross mechanical power developed by armature PM is equal to, there is an equation, input minus that losses will be the mechanical power developed. Mechanical power developed is EB into IA. So you will get the equation as VIA minus IA square RA. അല്ലേ? നമ്മുടെ നേരത്തെ കിട്ടിയ പവർ ഇക്വേഷനിൽ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ പവർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈ പാർട്ട് അല്ലേ? So PM is EB into IA. What is PM? This VIA minus this losses. Okay. So ഈ ഇക്വേഷനെ ഒന്ന് ഡിഫറൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. Here the variable is armature current. So differentiate the mechanical power equation with respect to IA and equate it to 0 for getting condition for maximum power. So the condition for maximum power can be obtained by differentiating this equation with respect to IA and equate it to 0. What will be the value by differentiating VIA with respect to IA? By d by dia of VIA is V, and IA square RA ne differentiate ചെയ്താണ്ട് കിട്ടും, which is equal to 2IA into RA and equate it to 0. So from this equation you can write it as V is equal to 2IA RA, and which is IA RA is equal to V by 2. And we know the voltage equation of a DC motor is V is equal to EB plus IARA. And we know the equation, that is IARA is equal to V by 2. Substitute this IARA is equal to V by 2 in this equation. So substitute here V by 2. Then what happens? EB is equal to V minus V by 2, or we get it is EB is equal to V by 2. So from this equation what you get? If the back EMF is equal to half the applied voltage, mechanical power developed in the armature become maximum. Actually, it is not practically possible, because there are two reasons it is not practically realizable. Because this condition will not cannot be realized in practice, because in that case the armature current will be many times greater than the normal current. We know that EB reduce ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, അതായത് സപ്ലൈ വോൾട്ടേജിന്റെ ഹാഫേ ഉള്ളൂ എങ്കിൽ അത്രയും ആർമേച്ചർ കറണ്ട് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യില്ല. EB റെഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഇക്വേഷൻ നമുക്കറിയാം, V minus EB by RA, that will increase and more armature current will drawn by the machine, so that will not it will produce a higher current. That is not possible. And moreover, half of the total power input to armature will be wasted in the form of heat due to armature copper loss. So in this, you know that it is IARA is equal to V by 2, or EB is equal to V by 2 എടുക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. So total input voltage നമുക്കറിയാം എന്തിനൊക്കെയാണ് സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? To overcome EB and also to supply IA square RA. So IA square RA ആയിരിക്കില്ല ബാക്കി half of the supply voltage contribute ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So അതും ലോസും increase ചെയ്യും. That is not fair. So by these two reasons, this condition is not practically feasible. And I here just explain one example. I think we have already explained in generator case also. A 25 kilowatt 250 volt DC shunt machine has armature and shunt field resistance of 0.06 ohm and 100 ohm respectively. That means armature resistance and field resistance RA and RSH is given, power is given, input voltage is given. Determine the total power developed in armature when working as a generator and delivering output 25 kilowatt and motor taking 25 kilowatt input. അതായത് ഈ ഒരു മെഷീന് as a generator delivering 25 kilowatt and as a motor taking 25 kilowatt input. ഇങ്ങനെ രണ്ട് രീതിയിൽ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് you have to find out, determine the total power developed in armature. Okay. So as a generator consider ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ single line diagram വരയ്ക്കാം. We have given it is a DC shunt machine. So draw a shunt machine. Then as a generator you can find out what happens in a generator. The EB is the generated EMF and V is the terminal voltage. So EB will be greater than V. Okay. So first you have to find out load current. The load current direction will be into this side. So load current കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും? We get the 25 kilowatt as delivering output power. So 25 kilowatt by VI by V ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് I കിട്ടും 100 ampere. And what will be shunt field current? We know the voltage across the shunt field winding. So V by RSH will give shunt field current. Then find out IA. IA is sum of this ISH plus IL. So by adding load current and shunt field current, you will get armature current. Then EG is equal to V plus IARA will give you the EG, generated EMF. Then power developed in armature is equal to EG into IA. That is power developed in armature. Okay. So as a motor, you can find out it by the motor input is 25 kilowatt. So 25,000 divided by 250 will give you the load current. That is input current. Then what will be shunt field current? Same as this. 2.5 ampere. And what is IA? IA is ISH, IL minus ISH. Okay, then you can find out EB, back EMF. Here input voltage is V and EB is the generated EMF here. So EB is equal to V minus IAR. Here input voltage V ആയിരിക്കും higher value. So input voltage V losses minus ചെയ്താൽ നമുക്ക് EB കിട്ടും. And we know that the mechanical power developed is EB into IA. So back EMF കിട്ടി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ just multiply it with IA and you will get the power developed in armature as a motor is 23.8 kilowatt. Okay. Okay, thank you.